Yo, what up, guys? B right here. This is really fucking weird. I'll have a timestamp if you want to get to the topic of the video, but it's kind of weird. This is a music channel. I rap, but I don't have any fucking music on here right now, so it's weird. This is like the first fucking thing that's on the channel. But I'm not a YouTube rapper. I'm gonna make more of these videos, but I'm not a YouTube rapper. Even though I have a problem with that fucking label, because some of those guys actually put in a lot of work and they just get classified as YouTube rappers, which is like, what the fuck? Who fucking cares? They're rappers. They deserve to fucking blow. Some of these guys grind so fucking hard. But anyway, this is fucking weird being in the middle of a parking lot. Truck's hot as fuck. But I want to talk about this video. Also, if anyone's watching this for the first time and you know of a little project I'm working on, a little remix project, a big thing, it's coming real soon. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, that's what this channel is. I rap. I want to make my brand mostly rap. If I do more of these videos, please remember, like, I'm a rapper at heart. I would much rather do rap than... I love YouTube, and I have for a while as a kid, but I would much rather rap if given the chance. So that is my focus and my passion. But I want to talk because Logic just announced that he's back. And I have a lot of mixed feelings and thoughts about it, because I fucking love Logic. No Pressure, he dropped that last year when I was in kind of like a really bad place and I didn't know what the fuck to do. And I'm not necessarily going to equate and say No Pressure gave me all the answers or anything, but it definitely helped a lot. Like, I remember bumping that a lot after I lost my job and I was working at Taco Bell and fucking a bunch of other stupid places. Just bumping that in the kitchen while doing dishes and shit, like at work. That fucking album helped me so much, and I think it's such a beautiful album that really encapsulated like everything Logic was about in one album. And it kind of just, from his beginning to his end, cataloging everything. Like, he talks a little bit about his come up, but then I feel like he bookends it too with his end. Like, you can see me sweating, it's fucking hot in here, but like, I feel like he does bookend it. Like, I feel like he ends his story on No Pressure, and I just think that album's perfect and amazing and beautiful. And I don't want to say it's going to be ruined, because like, you can always separate things from art. Like, this will still always be art. But I think something, and I'm not saying this new album's going to be bad either, but I think something's going to be lost from No Pressure, of that feeling I get when I listen to it, being like, damn, Logic retired. Like, what a good fucking album this is. You know? Like, sometimes there are a lot of emotions that go into music. Like, not to equate it, and I'm not saying these two are the same thing at all, but to just talk about emotions in music, like Juice WRLD. I fucking love him so much. He's the sticker on the back of my phone, not that you can see it, but when I listen to his music, not only do I like the music, I always get the emotion of, damn, like, this fucking sucks that he's no longer with us. Like, I feel like there's a lot of emotions that come with music, and like I said, not to equate them as the same thing, but I did get the emotion a lot with No Pressure, of like, me loving it so much because of where I was in my life, because of the art itself, and then also because it's such a good retirement album. It was such a good send-off for Logic, that I feel, like I said, I don't think it's gonna ruin No Pressure, because the intro track sounded really good. It didn't sound like he's trying to do trap again, which I like Bobby Tarantino, and I even like things off of Confessions, but it sounded more like the 3 albums I love. His 3 10 out of 10 classic perfect albums I think he has: Under Pressure, Tits, and fucking No Pressure. I think those 3 are amazing, and this intro sounds like those, so I'm excited. But it does just come off a little bit weird when you think about how great No Pressure was. And I don't know, Sorry, my phone cut off, so now I'm probably gonna have to have the fucking air on so my phone doesn't overheat. So hopefully that doesn't get too annoying. But yeah, and I've seen a lot of people say like, of course Logic's back, or I knew this wasn't gonna last, and those annoy me a little bit because I never got the impression when he retired that he was gonna come back, that it was a ruse. Like, if you actually follow Logic and listen to interviews and shit, he sounded so like, not done, but he talked a lot about how he was just kind of, I guess, done with rap politics, and he was tired of, you know, always following. Hey, what's up? Yeah, so my phone fucking overheated. So now it's the next day and I'm fucking driving to work. So you're gonna hear the truck, so whatever, I guess. But yeah, people are just kind of discounting Logic, like, oh, he was gonna fucking come back anyway, like, I fucking knew it. And really, I just saw it as like him needing to take time away. Like, I feel like he really did want to retire. I never got the fucking like impression that he was gonna like pull something over on any of us, you know, like, and even though that's not what I see this as, I never got that impression that he was just gonna come back. Like, it really did seem like from interviews and shit that like he needed time to himself and things like that. And you like, when you have this conversation, you also need to realize and understand the things with his label and shit like that. Like, he talked a lot in the streams and things like that about how Def Jam wasn't paying his friends, and they still haven't paid fucking Lil Wayne for Perfect remix that's not even out because they won't fucking pay Wayne and shit like that. Like, and Logic's talked about wanting to drop one more album for his contract, just so he's done with his contract. So I'm not saying this is it, and I don't even know if Logic can come out and say, hey, I'm only doing this for my contract. Like, I don't know if Logic can do that. If this is the reason, he might be coming back. Like, this might be just him coming back because he wants to. But you also have to understand that he does kind of want to be free of Def Jam. What he said before, at least. So if when he drops this last album, he either renews his contract or stops rapping as Logic. That's what's gonna happen, because he has one album left on his contract. So this is either his fully like goodbye album or it's not. And it might not be, because he's been doing the Magic shit with Madlib, which has been pretty good. He the other day he dropped fucking Live from the Country, I think, and that was really fucking good. I enjoyed it. You can tell he's really like having fun with it still, and that's the other thing too. It's like, you could also look at it from the lens that maybe he intended on retiring, but he just can't get rid of that part of himself like he thought he could, and that's gonna be like a duh to everybody else. But it's, I don't know, that's fucking dumb how people like think everything is obvious when it might not be to everybody, you know? Like, I don't think you have to assume the worst on every scenario, even if it does end up coming true, you know? Like, I still think it's a weird thing, especially in this scenario, you know, but he might have just, like, it does seem like one of those things where he's wanting to retire, and then he's just kind of like, shit, dude, I can't fucking live without this, which I understand, but that's why the whole conversation's like difficult, because you have someone I fucking love and admire in Logic, which the conversation around him's always been muddied because he has a couple trap albums that, you know, people hate because it's trap, and I get it, maybe they're a little quote-unquote corny, even though I hate that word. But, and then obviously everybody, I like that album, but I can understand how some people found it preachy, even though I think it had a good message. And Supermarket, I think it's good, but everyone fucking hates. But aside from those, like, you have a really good discography. Like, his Young Sinatra mixtapes are pretty good. Young Sinatra 4 that he fully released was pretty good. And obviously, I talked about the 3 fucking perfect albums I think he has. And I think this new album could be... I don't want to, like, already try to fucking, like, manifest it being perfect. But I think it has a chance of being up there with those 3 from the intro track and from, like, the type of music that he's been putting out, especially, like, under Magic, and then, like, the Live from the Country, which was really good, and things like that. Like, especially since he said that he's kind of, like, leaning away from trap because it's not really, like, what he wants to do. Like, he said he only put, like, Perfect and maybe even A to Z, like, into No Pressure because, like, A, he wanted Perfect so that he could get that kind of, like, message across and people would still, like, absorb it because it's trap, but also B, so, like, people listen to it because it's trap. I love Perfect, it's one of my favorites, but, like, I love the wordplay on that, not even just, like, the fact that it's trap, but it does go hard. But regardless, what am I trying to say? I don't know. I don't think I have, like, a concise thought that I'm trying to, like, convey to you guys, you know? I just have a lot of opinions when it comes to this whole Logic thing that I really wanted to talk about because I think it's weird and it's muddying the conversation around Logic because now you have this whole conversation of like, oh, well, Logic fucking played us with retirement, and like, I think that's a very cynical way to look at it. I don't like being a cynic. I think it's kind of annoying. I mean, being a pure optimist can be fucking annoying sometimes too, I understand, but I think it's way worse to be a pure cynic. So, sue me for being an optimist. But I don't really think this is fucking cynical on Logic's behalf. I think he had every intention on retiring, and then he got inspired. Like, can't remember if it was Anthony Fantano's video I was watching or something, where he was talking about, like, dude's got ideas, dude's like 30 or something. Like, you don't just kind of put that part of yourself away, especially when maybe Logic doesn't think he made his best thing already. Like, maybe his best album hasn't came out yet. So maybe, like, it's one of those things where Logic could have figured that out, like, and realized that, like, fuck, I haven't put my best album out yet. Which I hope is the case. But like I said, he only has one more album on this contract. So he's either doing it to get rid of the contract. So A, he'll retire after this. B, he'll renew the contract, which I don't see happening. B, maybe he can go independent as Logic. I don't know if he owns that name. Or C, he goes under, like, a different pseudonym or something. Like, he's already, like, doing Doc D, which is probably him, but... And then the Magic stuff, which he probably can't do forever because every beat would have to be done by, like, Magic, like Madlib. You can't really do that, I guess. And then he'd already talked about wanting to maybe retire Logic and, like, do shit as him, because at the early end of his retirement, he was still, like, making beats and stuff, and, like, he just wasn't really doing Logic shit. So I don't know. I mean, there's a few ways this can go. I just don't see him renewing his contract with Def Jam. I really don't. And I guess if there's one takeaway from this video that you guys have, I guess it would be that this might be a contract thing. Like, I'm not saying Def Jam's, like, forcing him to make an album, which that might be the case, but I doubt it, because they seem kind of supportive, I guess, of his retirement. But this might be one of those, like, dude, I need to get fucking out of this contract because they're screwing my friends over and shit, and, like, I just want the right to my music, which I don't know if Logic owns his masters and things like that. Probably not. So So yeah, that's one of those things, I guess. I'm just rambling, but I wanted to talk about this. And yeah, I appreciate you guys sticking around. Like I said, this is a music channel. I might do some videos on it. Like, I'm not against the idea, but I just want to get the point across that, like, I'm not a YouTube rapper. Like, it's not the type of vibe I want to go for. I do want to make serious music, you know? Like, I don't want to be looked at as a YouTube rapper, and I think that's difficult, but it is what it is, you know? So, like, comment, subscribe, whatever the fuck you want to do. Check out my music when it drops. I would appreciate that. And, yeah. Peace out, guys.